Pop your hands up now and just get your finger to the back of the jawline, just underneath your earlobe. You'll feel a little space between the back of your skull and your jaw. And then imagine an imaginary line between your fingers and seesaw your head backwards and forwards over that imaginary line. And that can give you that separation between the neck and your head, which can be quite releasing there. And then we're going to come down and you're now going to pop your hands on your sternum and you're going to push your hand forward into your sternum, forward into your hand, and then pull it back. Push forward, pull back. So I want you to think not the shoulders moving, now your sternum is moving, your ribs. Push your ribs forward, pull the ribs back, push your ribs forward, pull the, yes. And can you feel how different that feels from your shoulders? So now you're moving the ribs around your shoulder girdle and then back. Now pop your hands either side. And now I want to get you to push your rib cage into one hand, into the other hand, into one hand, into the other hand. That's it. Push into your hand, push into your hand, push into your hand, and release. Super work. Okay, let's bring it now down into the pelvis. So I want you to put your hands on your hips and I want you to bump side to side with the hips, bumping side to side. And then we're going to swing backwards and forwards, swing the tail backwards and forwards. Imagine a little weight hanging off your tailbone and you're swinging it between your legs. You're swinging between the legs. Tailbone swinging backwards and forwards. And then we're coming back, hand on your right hip and give your right hip a big circle around the top of your leg. Do the same on your left. A big circle around the top of your left leg. Right leg, circle around the top of your right leg. Left leg, circle around. Now change direction. If you can remember which direction you want, go the other direction. And sometimes you think, what direction did I go? And circle around and circle around, and lovely. Little bit of pelvic floor work now. So I want you to have that imaginary stool behind you and your sit bones, the cheeks on the back side, are going to search for the seat behind you like headlights. And then you're going to lift up top. Good. Hands on the cheeks of your backside. And now I want you to think of your cheeks of your backside pulling wide as you sit into that seat. And then hug your cheeks of your backside together as you lift up. Wide on your sit bones and sit bones together. So this is lengthening your pelvic floor on your way down and you're shortening your pelvic floor on the way up. Can you go a little further? Wide pelvic floor and short and lifted pelvic floor. Let's bring the feet in. And then from here, I want you to pop up onto your toes and down onto your heels. Okay, we're going to add that. Now, my knees and feet are kind of turned out to the corners of the room for this. Yeah, and you can go a little wider if you feel you need for balance. So we're going to sit back into our seat. We're going to lift back up and then up onto the tippy toes. That's it. And drop to the feet. Okay, let's bring the focus into the pelvic floor again. Wide pelvic floor. We're shortening the pelvic floor, and when we're up on our toes, it's shortened, and we feel a lovely wrap and lift, desperate need to go to the bathroom, and down, and lengthen pelvic floor. Bring it up, shorten and lift, wrap the sit bones, the pubic bone, the tailbone together, and one more. Space in the pelvis. Let's start wrapping the pelvis together up onto the toes, lifted, 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 and release. And now we're going to go up